this actually leads perfectly, Peter, into your good point. So it's another top laner.
Yeah. So my good point was going to be Carlsen. So I think Carlsen had a really, really good week. I've been waiting for Carlsen to finally kind of show what he's kind of capable of. The problem with Carlsen, obviously, is how would I say this with Heretics? Heretics are a team that they never give up in the game. They play kind of so they have plans in the early game. Sometimes they don't work. Sometimes they work. It's kind of a flip. Their mid to late game is really, really good because I think Stend is. I still think Stend is like the most underrated player in the LEC. Like, I mean, this guy, Heretics don't win a game when this guy isn't carrying.
Right.
And I mean, I know obviously Kalista is like the best, and Skumon is having a good season, but I actually think Stend is like maybe a top 2 rookie this year. Like, Heretics don't win games when this guy isn't playing. Like, you can even I had this in my notes. There's like the clip from the first KC versus Heretics game, right? Like, game 1, like from 1730 to 1930. This guy's a rookie, right? He comes into the game. I think they got Herald. It must have been Herald. So they get Herald. He immediately goes bot. They go Heretics immediately switch into a 2-1-2. He goes and covers his bot lane. His bot lane, who I think was Carlsen at the time, bases, goes and switches into a 3-1-1, and he's very, very quick to play the right side lanes on the map. He's always in the right position at the right time. When he's on Rakan and things like this, he has really good engagers. So they have these really good, like, I don't think Shio's doing anything that creative, but I think Stend is like really. You think Shio's being creative?
I think Shio is the 1v9 machine on that team.
You think so? Interesting. Yeah. Okay, but I think Shio and Stend, like for sure, the two of them, they're really, really good at playing and playing side lanes. They're really, really good at applying pressure apart and together, which is what I think makes Heretics good. The problem is they've got Flackett, who's stable, but both Camelu and Carlsen are really, really unstable because they just don't know how to play side lanes properly yet. They don't know how to push deep. They do it without vision, or sometimes they like the thing that rookies often do is they overshow on the side lane. So either you want to kind of semi-freeze your wave and slow stack your wave and then push twice, push 2 waves at the same time, or you want to push and immediately fog so that to force your opponent to guess. But I think one thing that Carlsen and Camelu are doing a lot is like they're overshowing, or they're like not pushing deep enough at the right times, or they're under pushing. And obviously this is something they need to learn because they're really, really raw rookies. But Carlsen this week had a lot of moments where he was finally beginning to push his limits better, and then he got caught in a couple of key fights, and then they lost the game, which is kind of tragic. I kind of haven't seen the development from Camelu though. I think Camelu is still. He's developing. He's very, very raw. Like, it's hard. I don't want to be too harsh on him because he's kind of put into a situation where he's obviously not ready for LEC. They're trying to get him to develop. He is developing a little bit. But yeah, his side laning is really, really rough. But Carlsen was playing side lane better this week, and that's why I think Heretics were better.
By the way, similarly to the other one, as you said, he was the other person you wanted for Heretics. So why were you going to pick him up for Heretics? What were you seeing in him as a player then?
Oh, for Carlsen?
Yeah.
It's basically because Evie... So people think that Evie... Well, people have mixed views on Evie, but what I will say is this guy in scrims literally just stomps everyone in scrims. And there's a lot of ERL...
I think people have mixed views on Evie in the sense you're included in people. Everyone else thinks he sucks, bro. But I get that you think he's good at that. Like, well, you know, there's opinions here and there. Like, okay, fair enough. Seems like a cool guy.
What I will say about Evie is there were a lot of people who said, oh, all of these ERL top laners, and then they get a list of people who they're like, oh, they're obviously better. And then we would scrim their teams, and he would just like go, like there were some of the very best top laners, most hyped top laners in ERL, who basically I had to go to Evie after like one series against like basically the most hyped top laner. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to, but he's not in LEC right now. Okay. But fans think he's really, really good. And I basically had to say to Evie, stop solo killing this guy. Like, please, just like we're not getting good practice. Like, like if you go 3-0 at 15 minutes, 4-0 at 15 minutes.
Evie had to put the Rock Lee weights back on. He was too powerful. Okay, fucking hell, pull your punches. All right, I love it.
But what I would say is Carlsen, of all the mid laners we played, like Carlsen was on some like Nordic team, or like he was on some like really, really like mid-tier. I don't think they even went to EU Masters. But he was the one guy, like we got him in a warm-up we got his team in a warm-up one day, and he was the only one who could like really match everything. And then we started scrimming them more just because he was the one that could hold top lane, and so we could get good practice on the rest of the map. And it was literally because of him that we kept scrimming his, like, it must have been really weird for like a mid-table Nordic team to like keep scrimming LEC, but like he was that good. And he was giving us good practice. And then we were like, okay, you've got to sign this guy for Academy. And that's how he ended up on Heretics. And it wasn't just like one block. It was like over the course of an entire year. So that's why Carlsen. I would say Carlsen, though, is very, very raw. And I think having Carlsen and Camelu develop together is kind of a dangerous strategy for Heretics, because normally when you have two solo laners, you want one to be a bit more experienced so they can kind of like call the side laning a bit more so that the rookie can kind of develop. And you put two like mega raw rookies like this, it makes it harder for both to develop. So like if you'd gone and told me that, like, say it was Vitio and Carlsen, or it was like Camelu and Impact or somebody, right? Like then I think they would both develop faster. But because they're two rookies, they don't have anyone to play off, they don't have anyone to learn from, kind of, it becomes much harder for them to develop. So that's kind of been slow. But you can see Carlsen's kind of getting it now, which is promising. But actually, this is the thing I kind of want to ask you, Gilius. Like, you mentioned Shia. Do you think that it's an illusion? Because I could see on this case that Carlsen's side laning this week was maybe better because Shia and Sten were playing to him better than they were in previous weeks.
I think overall Sheo just plays the map really well, like from start till finish. I think he was also a big part of BDS success last year, or rather last year's. I'm not sure how long he played there, but I think it was a big mistake to let him go and get 113 in there. They look way worse now, BDS. And yeah, Sheo just plays the meta champs well. Good pathings, good early games. He has a good eye for the game as well. Like when he does 3 camps and he sees somebody overextending, he's gonna punish and gank and try to break the game. It's not easy to be the jungler for a team like Heretics. You need to break the game consistently because your laners will be losing their lanes. So I'm impressed with him. I also am very impressed with Stent, because I've played with Stent in solo queue, in champions queue, played scrims against him in the past a lot, and I never thought he was that good. But some players can just sign an LEC contract, go on the stage, and just play way better. Like sometimes this just randomly happens, and yeah, it worked out. I mean, Stent is doing really well. I'm happy for him. He's a cool guy. He's also very hardworking. He hits high solo queue ranks consistently. People in the community, like the pro players and me, like that's who I'm talking about. We didn't respect him that much, but I think he's gaining a lot of respect right now with his performances, and he's doing good. I don't think Heretic is going to be a big danger to anyone if they make it to top 6 or top 8, whatever. I don't really know the format. I think they're just going to get knocked out by anyone, but it's still nice to see a cheap roster like this almost beating KC last week. It's good that they are performing.
No, by the way, I'm with you. It is top 6 for this split, so it's actually way more harder. It's going to be way more competitive for that 6th spot. But I know what you mean. Like, by the way, if they can even make top 6, which does look implausible, they've already had a good split. Like, everyone on paper would have had this team like second to last or something. Like, actually, they're kind of overperforming. I'm with you as well. When you look at the roster, one of the reasons I wasn't a fan of this roster in winter when it was announced is it just does look like someone went, right, we're going a mixture of budget and then whoever the rookies are that the other teams didn't sign, basically. And unfortunately for me, that is where I'm a bit more of like a nemesis. Like, come on, that many rookies are going to be good, especially the Camilo guy. Like, you better actually be Arsene Wenger of League if you're going to pick that guy. Like, he wasn't even playing in a top ERL. If people don't know, he was playing like Division 2 of a fucking ERL. Like, he's not. This is like a ridiculous pick. This is like when you go to some faraway league in football, you try and pluck a guy out and you hope it's George Weah, basically. Like, spoiler, it's not going to be usually. It's just going to be a guy that's like good at that level. So I do think they overcooked with that part of the roster. But aside from Camilo, I can actually see what they go for with this teammate. Like, the bot lane's decent. Like, those players that actually play pretty well, even seem to fit together. Sheo, by the way, is just actually, what's funny is he used to get so much criticism when he played with Nuke. I actually think he's looked good without Nuke, mate. He's sort of like reclaimed his reputation. People thought he was just the dog before, just had to follow him around. And I will say Carlsen is the one who looks like the obvious talent, like actually shows real potential, looks like he could be like a quality top player in the future. By the way, clearly has rookie flaws, obviously, but like it actually shows that he has some skills. I can see why they picked him up. So I don't hate this take actually.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about Carlsen. Like the problem right now I have with Carlsen is whenever I say, like I watch the games, I live view it, and I will say stuff like, "Wow, Carlsen actually played that pretty well," or "Wow, Carlsen just solo killed Caps," and people will berate my chat with, "Bro, this Carlsen guy doesn't deserve to play LEC. He's horrible. He has never hit Challenger once in his life. He has never been Challenger in solo queue in his life." So Carlsen needs to grind some solo queue games for people to respect him. Because right now this narrative about solo queue is dragging him down. Because if a young player like Carlsen comes into the league, never has hit Challenger, it's a bad look for him.
Sure.
But I do agree with Peter. I think Carlsen is actually playing pretty well. And for a new top laner, he's doing some good stuff. He still has a long way to go. Like, I don't think he's there yet to be like on a top team. But the future is looking bright for sure.
And also, you have to go on.
Like Stend is the one who is like, he looks like he belongs here. He looks like he should have always been. He looks like he's been playing LEC for years. Like Carlsen was good this week, but like let's temper the thing. It's good for a rookie coming in from the. I'm not saying like he's going to set the league on fire, but yeah, I
you have to realize one. Peter is doing the thing where he knows he has to get it in this week before, like in the next week he hits the fucking game, so he can't get the good point in then. And then secondly, you do notice, like when you were listening to that, Gilius, I was thinking, when's Carlsen ever going to get mentioned? It was just all about Stend for about like 10 minutes. It was just like you glazed Stend and then we're like, yeah, that Carlsen's not bad actually. He was decent this week. Couldn't fucking like just stay Stend then. You could have just whatever. You get the assist to Carlsen for this one. We're giving him the assist.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.